Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
And now, live from the TCL broadcast studios, it's Joe Souchere and Patrick Royce with Sports Talk.
All righty.
Got a question for you.
First of all, I'd like to announce that you can count me among the skeptics, by the way, about the fellow who's come back from time. I wonder if he's using the same. He got bounced by the same lie detector that the Ukrainians did up at the Brainerd fishing contest. Yeah. I wonder, or something.
But
they passed.
However,
they passed.
You do believe, though, maybe not the future stuff, but you do believe that in 2058, Joe still will be doing his show from 1 to 1:15, correct?
That's right.
Okay, good.
But leaving early on Fridays.
Yeah.
Yes.
At 1:10, yeah.
Is it making the news in the Fort Myers area, the events up Tampa Way, where a guy named Tanner Broadwell, 26, and his wife, Nikki Walsh, 24, sold everything they own. They bought a 28-foot sailboat to conquer the world, and they didn't get 200 yards offshore before it sank. And they
I missed this one.
They lost everything.
I was actually watching the news. What, they overloaded or
no,
what?
they hit something in the water that they claim was uncharted. And so now they're seeking more money from a GoFundMe page, and so they can get a boat and do it again. Who would send them money?
Yes.
It's like a reality show.
Who would send them back out on the water?
Right.
Do we know this is true, or is it just people looking?
No, this is the TampaBay.com. This is a real news site.
I bet Randy Wayne White is on top of this one.
Yeah.
That's got to be right in his fat zone right there.
I don't know what made him think they could conquer the world in a $5,000 boat, but that's the one that sunk. And they lost everything, their money, everything. They didn't have a damn thing left.
Okay, guys, thank you for stealing our 340 that we've been working hard on.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Where's Kenny? I don't see his voice. I don't see him.
I'm in John's chair.
Well, use it at 340. Nobody's listening.
Okay, thanks. I'll tell John, because John was in the process of tearing it up.
No, don't tear it up. Do it again.
We might have more information.
My wife actually sent me that story, knowing that we like to mock those less fortunate than us.
Oh, my favorite rook is still the Frenchman who tried to walk across.
Remy Bricca.
Remy Bricca. He took off from Marina del Rey on giant, water ski feet. He was going to walk across pontoon feet. He was going to walk across the Pacific. He never got out of Marina del Rey.
He wasn't any relation to Rocket Man from a couple of weeks ago.
No, he might have been.
The guy was going off the roof. There's some strange people out there. There's no doubt about it.
Is it raining in the fort?
It was drizzling enough that I had to put because it was kind of coming in here, but now it's fine.
Is the top up on the convertible?
Cloudy. Yes, I did that today. Now, I did have it out there for about a half hour with the top down, but she looked pretty bluebird then. So
she needed to wash a little of the dust, a little of the trail dust off of there.
No, we got her up before a little sprinkle started. But no, last year when I kept it down, that was a gully wash. Yeah. This was just a little drip, little drizzle. This one could have survived. That one last year was 2 inches in the car rain. That was
resulting in you going to a car wash to get the water out of the car.
Out, yes.
Extraction.
You got to dry this thing up. This is your first extraction.
Well, serious question. It's been almost a year. And no mold set in or anything.
Effects. No, but not only did I go to those guys, and I took it to the Toyota dealer, and I had the everything
Check.
dried out as much as it possibly could be.
Yeah.
Yes, we didn't just say we didn't pull an Augie and say that's good enough. It's
Yeah.
been in the water for 3 days. But
next
what the
time
hell?
it started.
I'm sure the gas station got her all fixed up here.
Yeah.
I'm ready to roll. So
Pitchers and catchers in town?
Most of them were around today, but the real today, all you had to do was be in the city limits. All you had to do was be in the area, and quite a few of them around here. But tomorrow morning, early on, they start the workouts. So
All right. When does the full club arrive?
what's tomorrow? 14th, 19th, I believe. So what would that
19th.
make it? Next Monday?
19th is
be
Monday.
Yep.
Yeah, next Monday, I guess. And we learned today that Miguel has gone home to the Dominican. He will report with the because we still have no word yet on what becomes of the sexual misbehavior allegation made against him. And the commissioner's office, I heard a month ago, was going to let them know something before the start of workouts, but they haven't heard a peep yet. And beyond that, there's not much going on here. Santana won't be here till tomorrow because he went to, or maybe Friday, because he went to New York for a checkup after the debridement on his middle finger. I think it's debridement. It's not embridement. It's debridement, I think.
Debridement.
I wanted to ask you what debridement. Couldn't hear her, so what did
What she
debridement
mean?
On the middle finger. So. And Thad Levine talked to the media today, general manager, and indicated that they probably would rather sign a pitcher of some value than trade some assets such as Max Kepler and the fellas for another pitcher. But the Tampa Bay has one pitcher available, Jake Odorizzi, who's pretty good. You could trade for him, and the other guy, Chris Archer, would cost you a boatload because they got 4 he's really good, and they got 4 years left of him contract-wise. So.
You're 6 weeks from opening day.
Oh, yeah. It's
March 29th?
March
In
29th.
Baltimore.
They leave Florida March 25th.
That's amazing.
It's this is almost an old-fashioned spring training in the fact that it's only about 6 weeks. They've
5
expanded.
weeks.
Well, they have a game the 23rd, so yeah, you got 5 weeks of games basically, a little less than that. So
Rangers at the Wild tonight. Houston at the Timberwolves.
boy, what a night! You got Ovechkin in town, right?
Yep.
You got the Beard, James Harden in town. In Minneapolis, and then you got Michigan State, the number 2 rated basketball team in the country at Williams Arena.
You're not looking for a Gopher victory, are you?
No, I don't think so.
No.
They might hang in there for a little while, but Michigan State's got a lot of powerful gentlemen inside, and the Gophers do not. So I would think that it will either be 70-38, or the Gophers will hang in there for a while if they come out and make some shots early. But no, they can't. Michigan State's actually in the middle of all the controversy. They've won 8 in a row here, even though the whole scandal is breaking out over there, and nobody knows what's going to happen to Michigan State or Izzo or D'Antonio. But they got a really good team.
How would Izzo have been connected to a gymnastics scandal?
No, this is this is not gym. This guy had a lot to do with athletes in general over there, not just gymnasts. But their case is more about how D'Antonio and Izzo handled sexual assault allegations against their athletes, and a coach or a grad assistant or somebody who just kind of got thrown out of the Michigan State program, and then there were some accusations that followed them. But I don't know if they covered up, just didn't say anything about any of this stuff. That's D'Antonio's the football coach has got a much bigger problem than Izzo does, though, I think.
Why, did he have more guys accused of wrongdoing?
Well, they had one a couple of years ago. I think this year they threw 4 guys out. So, but they're alleging that there are other ones that were covered up. So,
well, recruit thugs at your own peril.
Yeah, and you got 115 gentlemen, and they like girls. So
yes, they do.
And you don't know what's going to happen here. So.
You'd think they'd like him so much they wouldn't abuse them.
Yes, that would be the situation, or force themselves upon them.
All right, just a moment, please.
Okay, let's do a little traffic hit before we go back to sports talk. The white Fred G. Sanford's jalopy towing the most janky trailer you've ever seen, loaded 2 tons of scrap metal and steel and washing machines and bicycles and everything
Bed
else.
springs.
They're parked in the right lane, southbound 35W at County C. It's just the most hilarious sight you'll ever see. As I left my office a couple of minutes ago, troopers pulled up on it, so hopefully they'll get the white Fred G. Sanford out of there.
Hey, Lamont, let me get this thing out of here.
Hey, Kenny, you supposed to be driving something like that on the highway?
This thing doesn't look like it could get above 30 miles an hour.
Just take
Patrick.
University Avenue.
You know, it's dog tracking, and it's all askew. There might be a leaf spring
and
broken.
They're sitting there and saying, we can get one more thing. We can get one more washing machine.
There's a
in here."
radiator on Main Street.
We don't have to make 2 trips.
But invariably, the pickup trucks are shot.
Oh, yeah.
They're gone. They're rusted out, and they're going.
They're low
They're
riding.
like a dog that got hit by a car. They're going down the thing.
Askew.
Their
They're
back
askew.
fender is
Yeah.
literally flopping in the breeze.
I might be cutting through the Florida jungle this weekend to maybe go up and see Gardy up there at Lakeland, and that's Joe. When you always see the liquid coming out of the back down in the south, when you get behind a truck, there's always liquid coming out of the cab there, and you're trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
It could be somebody hauling pig slop.
Yeah, it's always kind of bad. Hey, I just looked up those caps, by the way, the Washington Caps, which, by the way, is a terrible name.
The Capitol.
Capitals, a very boring name. Why aren't you like
Better than the Wild.
Why aren't you the Growlers or the Throat Slashers or some damn thing? It's hockey, but Ovechkin is having another good year. He's got 32 goals and 10 power play goals. So, and their second best player is another commie, Kuznetsov. Mm-hmm. He's got 53 points. So the Caps have got to be to the point now. They have had great teams for about 8 years, and Boudreau got fired there because he couldn't win. They just keep running into the brick wall. They cannot get over the hump.
Well, they got Chicago out of the way.
Oh yeah, Chicago is that run is over. Obviously,
That has to be rebuilt.
They're not going to make the playoffs. But the Caps, they got 70 points. They're leading their division. Now, that's only 4 more points than the Wild have. But, they'll be in the conference finals or the semis again and get beaten 7 games after leading 3 games to 1 or something. And then Barry Trotz will get fired. He's still there.
Did you go Westminster Dogs last night or Olympics?
Not really anything. I went to dinner with the fellas, kind of a pre-spring training. There's 5-6 guys down here, and we went out to dinner, and then I came back and ignored everything.
We had some fun half-pipe stuff last night. All sorts
Didn't our
of...
gal won, right?
Oh, man, if she's not a national hero in the next 12 hours, something's wrong with this country.
Chloe Kim?
Yeah.
Then she's going to have to reveal her face.
Yeah, you're right. We haven't seen.
She shrunk into her hat and her long hair, and little voice came out, and you couldn't see anybody.
But man, did she throw down, Patrick? Whoo-wee, is she good?
I looked at the front of the ESPN page, and she is the heroine. Yeah, we're kind of trying to pretend like it's a miracle. It's never a miracle when we win in the half pipe. We're always the best.
Right, and we're the only people that haven't heard of her. I guess that world, they know all about her. But I heard before I came into work today, she had 10,000 followers on Twitter before this, and now she's got a few 100,000. So she's lighting up, as the kids say.
She's been dreaming of this her whole life. She's 17.
They love saying that.
Well, wait.
They won't understand that though till they're 40.
Right.
Then they're going to
Well, in
realize.
July we'll have her autobiography. Don't worry about it. It'll be out there.
And Tomato Man, he made the cut, right? He nailed it.
I didn't think I thought he was just over there having giggles. He's on the team.
Oh,
Sean?
Yeah, he's
Oh, I
competing.
didn't know he was on the whole
I think
team.
he's doing pretty good.
Doing the
Now,
mixed
what did he
twist.
do? What did he do? Get thrown out last time or something? They sent him home?
I don't know my half-pipe
Wasn't there
history.
some kind of scandal?
I don't know.
Involving dope?
Sean White.
No, I think he's a clean kid.
Oh, is he?
He's
God,
actually
no,
31.
no! He had to come back and make amends for his behavior. I thought they threw him out of the village or
I
something.
think you're thinking of a
4 years ago.
swimmer.
No, I'm not mistaking Sean White with a swimmer.
All right.
They have mixed doubles curling on now, and the Russian team is out there. The what is it? Olympic athletes from Russia.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, this female from Russia, I
Yeah.
guarantee you, you marry her, you're going to cry yourself to sleep every night for the rest of your life. She is vocal.
I think Kenny's saying it's not worth it.
Is that Anastasia?
I don't know,
Yeah,
but all I hear is,
yeah.
"Nyet, nyet, 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 nyet." I'm like, oh, my Lord. I'm
gonna go work on the car in the
Yeah, I
garage.
got to go mow my 80 acres of grass.
I will watch the Westminster tonight, though. Tonight's the finals, right?
I don't know.
Tuesday's the finals.
Who's
Yes,
got it? USA Network?
No, not anymore.
they
Does
lost
ESPN has it, don't they?
I don't know.
I don't
You're
know.
the
I'll go
dog
find
guy.
it. Well, it used to be USA Network for years, but then we got rid of. We now take it way too serious. We don't have the Fred Willard character on anymore, who makes fun of everything.
That's the
Well, he
best
was
part
the
of
fun,
it.
Yeah.
Well, when it was great was when Garagiola was the analyst or whatever he was, and he knew as much about dogs as I did.
Fox.
It was great though.
Fox has it?
Let's see, Sunday, February
I bet it's
11th, Fox
FS1,
had it.
huh?
Well, this is Tuesday
And
the
then it was
13th.
Fox Sports Go. FS1 had it last night. Tonight, it's Fox Sports and Go, National Geographic Wild, and FS1 at 8 to 11.
FS1. So
Wild are on tonight?
Fox's network.
Well, because Wolves and Wild have FSN and FSN Plus.
Yeah, but they got nothing to do with that. But FS1 is their national network. It's like ESPN.
Huh. I can just speak into my thing and I'll get it.
Yes.
If I remember, if I
Tell
want
them
to
you
see
want
something live.
FS1. Yeah.
I speak into my thing, I get nothing.
Yeah.
You're like
Last
Tony
night-
Bennett on Saturday Night Live. Hey, I'm
Full of
really happy
bangs
to
and
be
bangs.
here. He's got his buzzer.
Last night
My
we
line
had,
is, are you okay? Are you okay?
last night we had 4 of the groups settled. Tonight you get 3 of the groups settled, and then you have the best in show. The 7 winners come out and parade around.
And a lab has never won.
Lab's never won his group.
Isn't that something?
I love,
Lab prejudiced.
Patrick, I love seeing those dog owners who only run at dog shows, if you know what I mean, when they do that happy lab.
Yeah, the fat girls with the nylons coming down.
And they got the 1958 grandma shoes.
It's nun shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but plus they got the nylons that they only pull up to their knees instead of. They should have the whole thing belted up there because the nylons start coming down.
Fashion hasn't quite hit that into
Belt it up there. Let's belt these trainers up.
There's, it is. That's part of the fun. Yeah, that is part of the fun. But you know that the German Shepherd. Did you see that story, Kenny?
No.
Fanucci?
No.
Who was the favorite
hit
German
by a
Shepherd?
car or something?
Well, in 2014, he jumped out of a van,
Atta boy.
shattered his leg, and he came back from that. But he had some kind of a cut on his ear yesterday, so they didn't show him because his ear was flapping and flopping, and they thought it would be unfair to the dog to not look his best, so they didn't put him out
The
there.
dog didn't give a damn.
Has no idea.
It was the trainer.
And the terrier group now, this is the Norwich Terrier with this
Seems to have a different handler
doesn't
there.
look like Cookie Fleck to me.
We're getting word that it's the dog is being handled by Cookie's husband, Jerry Fleck.
This is very unusual.
Boy, this is thrilling. The bottom of the
Especially
ninth,
at
a
this
pinch
stage.
hitter comes in. Am I nuts? Or does he? Something's wrong with his feet.
I don't think I ever find myself saying this on this, but I think
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, he's got 2 left feet.
That is certainly a first.
Go get him, pal.
And the toy group, the Shih Tzu is coming in here.
Eugene Levy walking out there with his thick eyebrows and 2 left.
That's a Royce line. Go get him, pal.
Sports Talk will return shortly, but here's John Haidt
Thank you, Joe. Sunny and 30 degrees. I heard you guys talking about the dog show. I did watch a little bit of it last night.
Yes.
They had Shannon Sharp, Patrick, doing like
really?
a sideline thing, kind of. He was talking about the trainers of the Shih Tzu. And,
how's he doing?
He was fine. He's a big dog guy. I didn't realize that.
Okay. How did he do with pronouncing Shih Tzu?
He went Shih Tzu to make sure he didn't make a mistake.
Did he compare everything to his football career?
He did not.
Was he like the Burt Blyleven of dog show I played?
He didn't. They also had Chris Myers doing the. He was the Fred Willard.
This
part.
is terrible.
Yeah,
Come on,
so-
bring back a whack. Let's get the real Fred Willard. Let's get Fred Willard to do it. Actually,
Oddly enough, that's exactly what I said to my wife. I said, well, if they're going to do Chris Myers, why not just get Fred Willard to do it?
Yes, right.
The toy group was won
Yes.
by a pug. Thank you. I just want to throw that out there.
okay.
Oh, Johnny's favorite.
Oh, I love those
favorite.
pugs.
Yeah, so
Well, they actually look like a dog instead of those
Nothing-
other little toy.
Nothing better than a hug from a pug.
Anybody doing the? Anybody done the dog eating story out of Korea yet since the Olympics?
Well, I can tell you a little funny story about that. I got involved in a texting string last night with various family types, and at one point, some kid said, "This damn dog won't leave me alone," and another person said, "Those hugs are real." Hashtag those hugs are real, and I said, "Good thing that dog isn't in Korea." Hashtag it's what's for dinner.
Bernie Lincecum of the Chicago Tribune covered the Olympics in Seoul. You remember Bernie?
Sure.
And Bernie set this scene of these dogs being in a shopping basket, jumping around, these little puppies, and this woman coming up, nuzzling it, then handing it back to the guy who cracked its neck and put it in the newspaper. And people went insane. This is before the internet. They damn near greeted him at the airport and killed him. They went nuts.
You know, the West was won on the back of puppy dogs. You realize back then that's all they did was eat dogs and horses and mules. Lewis and Clark had about 200 dogs with them.
When they started, yeah. A lot of action.
Wait, now hang on. I've got some. Karen sends in an email. Westminster is on FS1 tonight. By the way, a local gal was on last night in the herding group. One of my friends, Ann McKay, took best of breed with the lovely Belgian Malinois B-word she bred and co-owns, and they showed in the herding group. Ann lives in Minnetrista, and her dog Eunuch, or pronounced,
Which is a bad name for a dog.
She was the only
That's
puppy in the
hurtful.
litter, lives mostly in Illinois, but spends a lot of time up here in Minnesota.
The dog or the person?
See, Joe, what
know.
you got
The
is
eunuch or the B word?
what you
can
got
say
is
that.
the best of breed, okay? And then there's a number of breeds in each group.
Yeah.
So they first of all they compete to win their breed, then they compete in their group, then they get to compete in the best of show.
Yeah.
So there's 3 different stages here.
There you go.
Wow.
Lots of
I learned that from watching Best in Show.
I predict it will become an Olympic sport.
Oh, hell yes, why not?
Yeah.
Lots of action locally tonight. Wolves are playing Houston at the Target Center. The Wild play the Rangers at the Xcel Energy Center. And the Gophers are at home against Michigan State.
Ovechkin, Harden, and Michigan State, the number 2 team in the country. Johnny, this is one of the greatest nights in the history of Minnesota winter sports.
You have to pick and choose.
Yes.
Glad you're here to enjoy it, Pat.
Oh, I'm enjoying it through you
Vicariously,
people.
yeah.
Through you.
Hey, forget about debridement.
Yep.
I was watching the show and I was trying to figure out what the dog meant. Westminster show.
Yeah.
What did the dog meant?
That's not funny.
Okay, W.
Yes, sir. I'm over here.
I know you're.
Okay, yeah. News notes from today.
Here
That's a
we
visual
go.
for the 3 in the
Here
studio.
we go. Now Johnny's going to give
Yes,
us
Johnny
news.
Heights.
3 separate vehicle stops in west central Minnesota in recent weeks each led to the seizure of large amounts of marijuana. According to the Minnesota State Patrol, 524 pounds of marijuana in these 3 stops. That's more than they took in all of last year.
Do you have the whole story,
I
right?
do,
Okay,
yes.
good, because it gets really good here.
January, I didn't think it got that good. Maybe I left something out. I'll see. On January 24th, a trooper stopped a vehicle for speeding near Alexandria. After reportedly observing some unusual behavior and items in the rental, a canine was deployed. 24 pounds of marijuana and $8,200 were seized.
Okay.
And on January 26th in Otter Tail County,
Yeah, this is the one, I think.
a trooper also deployed a canine when he reportedly detected signs of suspicious activity after a stop on I-94. 200 pounds of marijuana discovered, carrying an estimated street value of $600,000.
Where do they have 200-pound stash?
You don't have the one. It might have been the Alexandria stop where not only was there a bag of weed on the console.
I got that right here.
Oh, okay.
That's the one last Friday.
Oh, okay.
Last Friday, also in Otter Tail County, a trooper reportedly stopped a vehicle for an obstructed license plate.
Yeah.
The release says the trooper then saw bags located in plain sight on the center console of the car. And a woman was sitting on packaged bags of marijuana.
Hatching it.
That led to the seizure of 300 pounds. Numbers contained in the release show the State Patrol only seized about 390 pounds all of last year, so they beat that just in the
You know, the
first
biggest
month and a half.
demographic now attracted to the legal pot are the elderly. Can you believe what the traffic's going to be like when that kicks in?
They're already driving 20 miles under the limit.
We do it for right. We do it for the pain.
Yeah. Well,
pain.
if it helps, I don't understand why it's not available. But I started thinking maybe like the lady sitting on the weed. This had to be a distraction. I think while this cop was distracted with his small bus, semis with hundreds of thousands of tons were rolling by uninhibited.
Sorry about
And
this.
not all old people are bad drivers.
This building cut me off.
Sorry about this story, Patrick and Joe. The newspaper printing presses may have, another decade of life in them.
That's being optimistic.
Well, that's New York Times CEO Mark Thompson. He said that on TV. He said, I believe at least 10 years is what we can see in the U.S. for our print products. He said he'd like to have the print edition survive and thrive as long as it can, but he admitted it might face an expiration date. He said, we'll decide that simply on the economics. There may come a point when the economics of the print paper no longer make any sense for us.
Isn't anybody highly offended by the amount of pop-up ads you get when you go to newspaper sites, and you can't single one site out anymore? It's all of them.
It is
It's
difficult.
very frustrating.
They're all the same way, though.
Yeah, they're all the same, and they all take your computer forever to load. Well, we've got to get by this problem.
We got to get some money out of the deal, Kenny, for God's sakes. We're giving you all our stuff for free. That was the dumbest thing we ever did. Some 1995. Yeah, let's just throw her out there and see what happens.
Yeah. I like the fact that I can read all those columns the night before the paper comes out.
I don't.
No, neither do I. I like the paper.
Yeah. Well,
Plus,
I
still
do too.
photography still photography is still 8 times better in print than it is on these damn websites.
Human rights groups are condemning the Philippine president for saying that troops should shoot female communist rebels in the genitals to render them useless.
God, he's a carrier. He and Trumpy belong to each other, man. They're no wonder they're pals.
The left-wing group Karampatan said President Rodrigo Duterte has distinguished himself as a frothing-in-the-mouth fascist who incites the worst violations of humanitarian law. His remarks, they say, are the latest in the series of this madman's display of tyranny. The U.S.-based group Human Rights Watch said the remark last week was the latest in a series of misogynist, derogatory, and demeaning statements he's made about women. In a rambling speech before surrendered communist rebels, he spoke about the futility of their decades-old insurgency, how his administration can help them return to normal life. Duterte even asked why women joined the insurgency and abandoned their families when he made the remarks about shooting them in the genitals. They elicited laughter, of course, from his fans in the audience.
He's talking about rebel fighters here.
Correct.
I mean, sexism is not the issue here. I think it's uprising, you know.
John, do you have more?
Yeah.
Sports talk lives here.
Absolutely.
1500 ESPN.
Gentlemen,
Whoa.
well, after that 12-minute break, we don't have much time.
It was only 7.5.
Oh, God almighty. Congratulations if you're still listening, folks. After
You
the
are a
12-minute
warrior,
break,
right?
You're a warrior.
That's what it is.
Hey, remember all that stuff about Ovechkin? The Rangers are here tonight. Ovechkin's here 2 nights from now. So
Oh,
None of us got that.
No,
I did not. Yeah.
The Rangers tonight, Ovechkin Thursday, and B, this chick that won the half pipe. Obviously, she's of a Korean descent, huh? Her name's
parents are
Kim.
from
Chloe
Korea.
Kim.
Oh.
Her parents are from Korea.
And they moved to L.A.
Once again, same problem as I've always had with Korea. No, there's like 4 last names. I don't get it. How do you know if you're marrying your cousin? Everybody in the country's named Kim. I don't get it.
It's like Anderson's up in Douglas County.
Yeah, right.
Just take a chance. Take a chance.
Why did they really do? I mean, look at the golf. Look at the golf LPGA golf. There's 20 Kims in the top 50. How do you know one from the other? I don't get it.
Either Kim or Park.
Well.
Yeah, Lee. There's a few Lees too.
Part of a story you may have heard earlier, a couple who sold all their possessions so they could sail around the world have been left with nothing after their boat sank 2 days into the journey.
Not funny.
That's another problem, John. It was 2 days into the journey,
right,
but
2 days.
200 yards offshore.
Right.
Are they paddling?
Should I
or
swim
what?
to shore? No, just stand up and walk. It's 2 feet deep. You can
2
walk in.
days, they got 200 yards.
Tanner Broadwell and Nikki Walsh began their adventure on a 28-foot sailboat last week, setting off from the marina in Tarpon Strait.
That they
this spring.
paid $5,000 for that barnacle-encrusted piece of crap.
This gotta be a joke. This can't be for real. I refuse to believe this.
While sailing through the popular tourist area, the bottom of their boat hid an unseen object underwater and quickly
It's
took on
called
water.
the bottom.
They were left
Old sand.
They were left with just their 2-year-old dog, Remy, who is a pug, their social security cards, a cell phone, and some dog food and clothes.
So
They saved the dog food.
They saved the dog food.
let me
yeah.
guess, John, there's a GoFundMe site set up.
There is a GoFundMe site.
Yeah,
They say they're going to continue because this is their dream. They quit their jobs. The fella's 26, and Ms. Walsh is 24. They both got tired of their sales lifestyle, and that's when
They're
they decided.
24.
They saved for 2 years, Kenny, planned and saved. In April,
Well, they didn't have any money. What did they?
They didn't.
They
plan
spent $5,000 on the boat, and that's all they had.
2017, in April, they sold everything they had, including the SUV he had used as an Uber driver to make extra money.
God help me.
I'm seeing a 1986 Explorer.
And they bought the 1969 boat they named Lagniapa, which is Creole for bonus. For
Creole for we're going to go down in about 2 days.
Glub.
$5,000 they spent on the boat, and then they did restore it, spending about the same, about $5,000. So it's about $10,000.
These
they spent
people
total on
get
the
dumber with each sentence.
boat. Now, up until this point, the couple had 0 sailing experience.
Wow.
So they spent the next few months learning from Mr. Broadwell's dad. And 2 days after they took off, the Lagniapi had sunk. The boat remains in the water. The
We
Coast Guard.
hardly knew ye.
Yeah, and I'm guessing the Coast Guard's going to charge him about
Yes,
$200K to get that
they
thing
gotta
out
pay
of there.
that.
$10,000 the Coast Guard tells them it'll cost.
Yep.
Right now, to their name, they have $90.
Okay.
I'd buy.
Where were they? Where was their first stop, Johnny? Where were they going to go? Where were we heading?
Caribbean.
Tortuga or something?
Caribbean.
Where were we? Okay. All right.
Dog Island. I don't know.
Ms. Walsh said, "We'll do it again. We can't give up on our dreams."
Well, you keep dreaming, honey. Next time you might get 300 yards.
The dream gave up on them.
You ever experienced floaters, the little strands you can
Yes.
see in your eye?
All the time.
Now imagine if the floaters, they wiggle around like worms.
Oh, boy.
No.
That's what an Oregon woman experienced in a case reported in the American Journal of Tropical Medicine and Hygiene.
I get that magazine.
Do ya?
Does not surprise me. I don't think he's joking either.
It wasn't just one. A total of 14 worms were pulled from Abby Beckley's left eye during the 2016 episode.
This is the second day in a row you've had a story like
Yes.
this.
And tonight
Yeah.
they will eat them on Survivor.
Beckley first discovered the infestation after a week of mild irritation. Looking into her eyes, you could see a translucent creature wiggling around.
Oh, my word.
Looks like you got worms in your eye.
She said, "I pulled the worm out and I was shocked." Beckley.
These can't have been very large worms, Dad.
Very tiny. Very
they're
tiny.
large enough to where you grab the wife and go, hey, look what I got. Look, I pulled out of my eye.
Just a little too small to put on a hook, Pat.
Beckley sought medical help. Another 13 worms were extracted. Local doctors, however, did not know what to make of the infection and passed the case on to the CDC. Scientists at a special lab that deals with parasitic diseases figured out she had been infected by a species of eyeworm found in cattle, but rarely seen in humans.
John, you can't top that. You can't top.
Don't make. Now he's going to try.
I might top it today. Listen to this one.
Before you get to that,
I hope it's not about a large goiter. I hate those ones.
before you even get to that, on that last boat story,
Yeah.
Sometimes you eat the bar, and sometimes the bar will eat you.
What is that, some kind of Eastern thing?
you got the little cowboy thing going.
Sam Cordero.
Yep.
This is a different story
What
now.
state are we in?
Different fella. He's in Colorado? Where was it? Colorado.
Florida, I think, John.
Is he in Florida? Yeah, he's in Florida, too. They're both in Florida.
Trying to help you, John.
Thank
A lot
you,
of
Joe. I
stuff,
appreciate
a lot of goofballs down here in Florida.
that. Sam, well, in his eye, he had a pork tapeworm.
No.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? You're making this
What do you mean
bleed
like
up.
a pork?
Tapeworms, normally they pass to humans from consuming raw pork or through contact with fecal matter.
No.
Yeah, you'll get worms, like they say. Don't eat the turkey.
You got some bleep in your eyes? What, you can't see straight?
In some extremely rare cases, the worm will travel through your intestines into your bloodstream and embed itself in your brain or eyeball.
That's what I'm talking about.
What do you prefer, brain or eyeball?
We should have Reavers check for that.
Cordero's parasite set up shop in the vitreous chamber of his eye. That's the fluid-filled area behind his lens and between the cornea.
And it's not because the brain was full already.
You can get those in your swimsuit area.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to.
You sound like you might know a thing or
Oh,
two
it was in a
about
Randy Wayne White book.
Oh.
Tomlinson had one to swim right up the old chute.
That's where they hid the drugs?
Here's
Always stay in the boat.
here's the problem with Perez's thing. If it went to his brain, it could end up killing him.
Well, no kidding.
It was a race with time. Does that make sense? A race with time? Yeah. It was a race with something. Anyway, Cordero said he didn't know the pork tapeworm existed until he figured it was in his eye. He worried about the worm going to his brain and dying in his eye. Perez, the doctor, said he had only treated one case like this before. He was able to diagnose it. They could reach 2 to 7 millimeters in length and produce about 50,000 eggs. They were able to remove this one from Cordero's eye. Both he and the woman in the previous story should both be fine.
Johnny, I've lost all respect for you as a newsman.
We may have had
these grotesque stories.
We may have had a little collusion on that one. Those may have been given to me for your sake.
Yeah. Okay.
I like your style, dude.
I dig your style too, man. Got a whole cowboy thing going.
There's just one thing, dude.
What's that?
You have to use so many cuss words.
What the are you talking about?
Okay, dude. Have it your way.
What's coming up, Patrick?
You know what the good news is? We already have the Caps preview done for Thursday.
Yeah, we don't have to
we're
talk
ahead of the
about it
game.
Thursday.
We got all the Ovechkin stats taken care of. We're good. Playing the New York Rangers tonight, loaded with Minnesota players. Brady Shea, how's that pronounced? The kid that played at the U.
They've been playing well lately, too.
We got Ryan McDonough on that team. They got a bunch of Minnesotans, and so do the Wild. We got a few now, too. They got a kid from Eden Prairie might be in the lineup tonight, Nick Seeler. So.
1500 ESPN is KSTP, St. Paul, Minneapolis. We're calling it 28 degrees. Pat didn't tell us who's coming up next, but it is action-packed.